My name is John Craig, and this is my Sprint 1 for my OOP-Turn project. As a gamer, I want a start button to begin the game so that I can start. Criteria are that the start button is visible on the screen, the start button has a visible effect when used, the start button begins spawning enemies. On this, I pass the first criteria and fail the second two, moving it on to the second sprint. As a gamer, I want a quit button to exit the game so that I can quit. The criteria is the quit button is visible on the screen and quit button exits the game. As a gamer, I want a score counter to keep track of my score so that I can see it. Criteria, the score counter is visible on screen. Score counter does not affect game figures, and score counter updates with user play. Gamer. As a gamer, I want to use the mouse to shoot my weapon so that I can play. Criteria are that mouse click fires weapon and the shot moves in the direction or target of the mouse. As a gamer, I want to use the arrow keys to move so that I can play. Control keys move shooter in the direction, and the shooter stays within the game screen. As a gamer, I want to use keys or buttons to change my weapons so that I can use them. Criteria is that a gun button selects the gun weapon, a missile button selects the missile weapon, and a laser cannon button selects the laser cannon. Shooter. I want to spawn as the game is started so that I can begin fighting. Shooter spawns within screen at new game. That's criteria. Shooter. As a shooter, I want to have a machine gun weapon so that I can fight. Shooter criteria: shooter can use gun weapon to damage enemies. Shooter. As a shooter, I want to have a missile weapon so that I can fight. Criteria: shooter can use missile weapon to damage enemies. That one is a fail, as hitboxes sometimes miss. Shooter. As a shooter, I want to have the laser weapon so that I can fight. Criteria: shooter can use laser cannon weapons to damage enemies. That one is likewise a fail, as the hitboxes are also off. Shooter. As a shooter, I want to show damage so that I can display my wounds. Criteria: shooter shows full health. Shooter shows health 4, 3, 2, and 1 respectively. 4, 3, 2, and finally 1. Shooter. As a shooter, I want to explode when I want to explode when I die so that I can display my death. Criteria: shooter creates explosion on death. Explosion is the death location. Alien shooter. As an alien shooter, I want to move from side to side so that I am not easy to hit. Alien shooter moves at a speed that is difficult to hit. Alien shooter stays within game frame while moving. As an alien shooter, I want to fall when I die so that my death is apparent. Alien shooter falls when shot. Alien shooter exits the game screen before being destroyed. As a gun, I want to fire shots in a straight line so that I can hit target. Gun fires in target direction, gun leaves game screen, gun disappears on hit. Once more so you can see that the gun disappears. Missile. As a missile, I want to fly to where the mouse is clicked and explodes so that the gamer can damage the enemies. Missile fires at target. Missile explodes upon reaching target. Missile expands to an effective radius, and radius of explosion damages enemies. And that is a fail on the effective radius, and the enemy damages. The hit boxes are off, and the states sometimes roll when not needed to. The laser cannon fires a target, leaves game screen, and continues after striking targets without disappearing, and damages all targets. That is a fail on damages targets as the hit boxes are off, and sometimes hits targets it has not made contact with, as well as misses targets it has hit. And that is my sprint 1.